Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching Access Hockey MI, as always.
It's almost like our intro takes you by surprise.
I know. I'm always trying to breathe really deeply. Today, we are going to talk about Filip Zadina, which is a request that we get quite frequently just because everybody is still kind of on the Filip Zadina train, even though he was drafted in 2018. So you would think that it would kind of die out, you know? But it's fine that it's not. Yeah, it's fine that it's not. So today we're going to talk about Filip Zadina, what he did last season, and where we kind of see him going in the coming seasons when hockey starts again. Can't wait.
Supposed to be soon-ish.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see.
So let's get into it.
On a happier note. So Zadina, he's been with Grand Rapids the last 2 seasons here, kind of alternating between Grand Rapids and Detroit. So while with Grand Rapids last season, he had 21 games, 16 points. He then was moved to Detroit with 28 games and 15 points. Unfortunately, before the season ended, he did get an injury, and so he was kind of working through that prior to the season getting truncated a bit there. But we were actually a little surprised looking back at it because he seems to be almost flying under the radar.
Well, we'll get to that, but right now we're going to talk about...
But I was getting that.
Well, you can't get to all of it because I have to talk to.
Fine.
So he was drafted 6th overall in 2018, and when he was drafted, it was a surprise to the Red Wings because they didn't think he would last. He was ranked 3rd among North American skaters going into the draft, and I think even he was surprised that he wasn't drafted sooner, hence all the stuff about like filling their nets with pucks, which he didn't do, unfortunately.
We already did a video about that last year.
But that's fine. I do think that it's the difference, of course, we'll always say it's the difference in leagues, going from a junior league to a pro league to the QMJHL is a major junior league. Yeah. But, so he did come to the Griffins with a lot of clout and a lot of expectation. Yeah. And I think in that way he didn't live up completely to what that was. But like Rachel was saying, we were very surprised that he actually did have as much production in the AHL and then in the NHL, in the big league with playing with the bigger guys and more professional and, all that stuff that goes into it.
A nimble skater.
So we feel like he did accomplish production-wise a lot of what he had touted and claimed that he would, and a lot of what I think the brass was expecting him to do. But we do see areas of growth. And we're going to get into where we think he should be.
So the biggest thing, and check out the website too, because Janae actually just recently selected him for the photo of the week.
I take pictures.
She takes pictures, but she's been dabbling with the writing. But
well, okay, I take pictures. So if you go to our website, accesshockeymi.com, you're going to see, you're going to see all the pictures that I've put on there so far. And I do a photo of the week every week, and I just did him. So check that out for more.
So with each photo, there's a little bit of an explanation as to why. And in that, she highlighted some very important areas of growth that though he is accomplishing a lot, he's doing very well in his development, that he needs to work on a little bit more. One of them is being his physical presence. That was something, and what I meant with him flying under the radar is something Janae had mentioned too. He's a great player, but sometimes you don't even notice him on the ice. He does those kind of almost like underhanded things, and he does get the production, but he needs to work on being a little bit more physical, and that will come with his physical development as well, and obviously getting over injury. Yeah. But he needs to work on that a little bit more, be a bit more aggressive, and be a bit more of a not an agitator, but someone that is meant to be.
But someone who can take care of himself. You don't see often. Well, I'm not going to give him as an example because you do see that. But basically, if you can't defend yourself, you're going to have people, you're going to have enforcers, you have defensemen, of course, other forwards on the line. You're going to have protection around what you do. But I do think it's important to also be physical and be able to protect the puck. He is able to protect the puck, but I feel like when he gives hits, he's a fragile player. He often needs an extra shift to get over maybe
compose himself again.
And you're going to get hit by some big guys in the NHL, and they don't care that you're Filip Zadina and you want to get a goal. So.
And it's not to say that he's weak necessarily. No. These are just areas that there is a very high caliber of physical play in the NHL, and you are expected to play alongside that. If you cannot, there are players who can back you up, but you need to have that expectation for yourself, and so that's just something he needs to kind of work on as he kind of works through this now extended period of off season.
Yeah, so getting stronger, getting the body mass, which is very important, and then of course the confidence. We have noted in the past that you can visibly tell when he's not confident in his play, and that usually can come after maybe he's made a bumble or maybe he doesn't feel like the team is playing especially well. he usually shows it, and that's fine. Show emotion. That's totally fine. But don't let it affect your game. And sometimes we can see it affecting his game, and that's just something personal that he works on. Yeah. And I'm sure that every player has to work on that.
I will say this last season, he's made great strides in that. Since the last video we did on kind of his progression and where he was, it is not night and day difference, but you can see where he has been kind of trying to discipline himself a little bit more in that area. So that's good to see.
Yeah,
he is making progress.
We're positive about his future. This isn't anything. I think that the positives outweigh the negatives mostly, because you can grow on all of these things that he is currently struggling with. You can get stronger. You can hit better. You can get more confidence. So all that stuff is definitely stuff that I think...
thing that you can't learn or get around is being unteachable. That's one thing that you cannot get past, and Zadina thankfully is a very teachable person.
He's teachable, he's got the production, he's a very skilled hockey player. I think that he's got a great future. But where do you see him in the coming season and beyond?
I think realistically he should be started with Detroit, which is a pretty bold claim for me because I'm not normally one to be like, yeah, just put the prospects in there and see what happens.
Actually, we are.
Well,
no, we really are. Like right now, we're going, can you just do it? Maybe if you just like
we've got nothing to lose, really. But with Zadina, I think the confidence thing is huge. But in order to meet that demand, the mental side of it is huge. Just like we've talked about with Svetch before, where the mental game is big for them to progress them even further and push them even further. So I think with Zadina, you put him in the NHL, get him started, get him those minutes. He might be completely bogged down and exhausted. But that for him, I think, is going to be a huge motivator to get better and to stay there.
Yeah, and I actually agree. I do think that he will likely start NHL. I do think that he's got a few people who are going to be competing for that spot. That would be Evgeny Svechnikov, Giovanni Smith, two guys who Rasmussen's mostly a center, but and Zadina is a winger. So Ras
can be a winger too.
Yeah, Svech and Smith are probably, I would think, the immediate competition that he's got, but they all have such different play styles that it just depends on what the Red Wings need, and they need a lot.
Why don't we just take them all? We'll just swap out entire lines.
I'd be sad because I want to see them on the Griffins because I like watching them, and we watch the Griffins, but I would think that realistically NHL is probably where he's going to stick because I do think that Yzerman is trying to get these prospects in the NHL. He's trying to get what we've worked for or what they've worked for in there, and I do think that Zadina is progressing in a way that would lead him to the NHL.
He's earned the trust.
I think so, especially in this production. As long as he can stay healthy, he can get stronger, and he can get a little more physical. I think that he would be a shoo-in for the NHL in the coming season. When it comes,
we're gonna keep saying that and just hoping it starts like tomorrow or something.
Oh, that would be
unexpected.
Fantastic.
It'd be awesome.
What do you think? Just quick wrapping up. What do you think the coming draft is going to affect with Zadina, or with the prospects that we've got so far?
With the prospects that we have, ideally, it will push them. I think you can it's one of two things. It either push them to be better with the position that they have and just literally force the issue and say, no, I'm the man for the job.
Like, oh, darn it, they drafted that guy.
Exactly. Like, he's your teammate, but he's also your competition, which is kind of an interesting dichotomy there. But it could either be that, or it could be, oh crap, he's better than me, and then then the new guys are, because there's always the first round pick. It always has that clout that comes with it. So I think it's easy for existing prospects to get lost in there.
Well, think about it. In Filip Zadina's draft pool of 2018, first rounder was Andrei Svechnikov. He's been in the NHL.
He's doing fine.
Right after Filip Zadina was Quinn Hughes, who has been in the NHL, and both have been doing very well. So I always wonder if the Red Wings don't pull up quick enough. So I think that with the incoming draft pool, I think we are getting quicker in who we pull up, because I don't think Seider's going to last in the AHL very long. I think he'll be NHL. So I do think we're starting
for a little while.
Yeah, we're starting to hasten the prospect progress, but that does depend on the player and how quickly they can develop. So
right, exactly. But in effect, the upcoming pool and the existing pool will directly impact his development, and it's entirely how he takes it. And it's all on the individual level. Development, the team can tell them to do exactly what they want to do, and they literally tell them
they lay out what they need them to do.
They give them workouts to do, for goodness sake. But
I would like that.
Please. But with that, it's up to them to actually execute and make that happen.
Yeah. So with all that said, what do you guys think about Filip Zadina? And thank you for all the comments.
Yeah, you guys were just
Rachel's beside herself answering all these comments.
My phone's going off a lot, and I'm not used to that.
She's the one that answers all the comments. So thank you, Rachel. Applause.
Yay!
So yeah, make sure that you comment below and tell us what you think about Filip Zadina's development, where you think he's going to be in the starting season, how much you want it to start again. And let us know if you have any other prospects that you'd like us to develop on or to talk to you about.
Talk at you about.
Speaking to you about it. And we will see you next time. Thanks, everybody. Bye.